Hey y'all, back in the shop today, getting back on the F100. Before I jumped off the project to get the power tour stuff done, I was at a point on the steering. So down here in the steering, and I couldn't get enough adjustment to get my toe right. And I just thought maybe, since I've hodgepodged all these pieces to get different pieces together, that maybe the steering arm, because I took that complete link off of the 78 that I got my spindles off of, I thought maybe that's not the right arm, or I don't know. I just thought, okay, I'm going to have to figure that out. Let's move on to the next thing. Well, I was texting with John Pennington one day, that I got the drop beams from, and he said, hey, I was watching one of your videos, did you cut down your tie rod end? No, I hadn't, but that makes sense because I couldn't get my toe right. I was running out of room in the sleeve, right here, and had them completely adjusted together and still couldn't get my toe right. So that was an aha moment. And John said, I thought we talked about that. We talked a lot about that. We talked about a lot of stuff that day that I met him in South Carolina at his place. But I don't remember talking about that. I could have forgot. The whole point of this is you have to cut these things down. So let me show you what I did. I just got done cutting everything. I started putting it back together and was about ready to put this link assembly in. I thought, you know what? I need to video this because this is a pretty important part of this whole operation of putting these drop beams in. So what I did was I took the link arm, I took this whole assembly back off, and so you have to, per John, you have to take 3/4 of an inch off of each of these rod ends. So I've already got it back in the sleeve. So I took 3/4 of an inch off of each one. Because what you have to remember, and this is only if you get the narrow track beams, because these beams I got, I believe it's 3/4 inch per side narrower. So it's 1.5 inches total. Track width is narrower, 1.5 inches. So the total track width in the front. So just to be able to put the bigger wheels on and, just have some room to mess with and keep all your wheels and everything tucked into the fender still, it helps. So, especially when you're putting I don't have that wide of a tire on the front, but it's tall and it needs some room and it didn't hurt. So I thought I'd go with that route. So what I did, like I said, I took 3/4 inch off of each tie rod end, and then the sleeve measures 4.5 inches, the adjustment sleeve. You take 1/2 inch off of each end of the sleeve. I just trimmed it right off, put everything back together, and I'm getting ready to reinstall it. So I just thought I'd mention that real quick and just let everybody know, just in case anybody who has checked out our videos and seen or got the beams from John maybe. Very important piece of the puzzle here. You will not be able to get your toe right without doing this. So I'm going to get this thing installed and just kind of eyeball the toe and get it kind of set and kind of crank down just a little bit until I get all the weight on this truck. Got to get all the weight on it before we do any kind of alignment stuff and final stuff. So I'll eyeball it, get it in the ballpark, and get this thing back down on the ground because, as you can see, I've got it sitting on a jack and multiple blocks, and that big old hoss of a tire is off for a little bit, and so we'll get that going. So out here tonight working on this, what I got was this line that went from here down to there, which was a line built by this company, provided by this company, is leaking. It's leaking down at this fitting down here. And this line sitting in here now was just one I put in there so it wouldn't leak all over the floor. So I'm getting ready. I built this line and we're going to see if it works. Let's, is that the right one? Yes, fingers crossed. Well, I got the line installed, like my little catch basket. Anyway, so got the line installed. Didn't want to really crank it down until, I checked it out. I mean, I snugged it, but didn't really crank it. So first time I push the pedal, it's just blowing out of here, right? So I finally, okay, it's going to go or blow. So I cranked on it and stopped, hit it again, and it's blowing out of here. That's where it was leaking originally. So did the same thing on that one, cranked it down. This nickel cadmium line is very forgiving. So if there's anything wrong inside that block, hopefully it adapted to that when I snugged it down, and I mean snugged it. And now, pumping on it, nothing anywhere. So hope that takes care of it. We'll find out. We'll do some more, do the actual bleeding probably next time Cam comes out and knock that out. He did tell me something that made me feel a little bit better. I was on the phone with him a few minutes ago. My gosh, this thing is really fuzzy. Everything is so humid. So he said, you got to think about it this way, because I was complaining about the line leaking. He said, think about it this way. The only line that is leaking on that truck is not one that you made. I thought, it's a good point. I'll take it. We'll end it on that note.